Welcome to Listertainment, the channel with the most deceptive name in all of YouTube. As many of you may not know, a towel being thrown into the ring does not automatically stop the fight. The referee actually has the last call to stop the fight and can just as easily grab the towel and throw it out, as we will see in these videos. Maybe it should end the fight, since in most cases, or almost all the cases, the corner throwing in the towel just means that they are trying to protect their fighter, since they obviously see that they are getting hit way too much and have no chance of winning. But I guess the rules are that way for a reason, and maybe it's the best way to do things, although it is shocking for everybody involved when a referee doesn't actually end the fight after the towel is thrown in. If you happen to enjoy this video, please give it a like so we can give the algorithm a like orgasm, and subscribe down below. Also, make sure to turn on those notifications. Let's get started. We start out with the most recent one that just happened on June 12th of this year. Jeremias Ponce was fighting against Lewis Ritson and was getting the better of the British fighter who was the favorite in this fight. This fight would set up the next challenger for Josh Taylor's IBF super lightweight title. Ponce just came into this fight with a blistering pace, putting on a real show, and was just outworking Ritson.
There it is again. That's just
Ritson to the body there.
He's hit Ritson.
Ponce digging in.
In between the 9th and 10th round, Ritson's trainer and father told him that he had one more round to prove that he was still good, or he would stop the fight. Ponce, though, was ready to attack, landing a sickening body shot that put Ritson on the canvas. And this led the corner to throw in the towel soon after he recovered and the fight continued.
He's being broken up here, Ritson.
Oh, he's
solid
back to the body.
But he's alone in that ring. Digs in with two body shots in response, and his father has thrown the towel in. He looks across to him.
He doesn't have to stop it.
The referee ignored the towel and allowed the fight to continue, even though Ritson himself was angry about it being thrown in. Ponce rushed in and started landing more shots, putting him down with another body shot.
What a moment that was, a lifeline for Ritson as Steve Bray throws the towel out the ring, but now...
Even after this irresponsible referee allowed the fight to go one more time, and Ponce just did it again, putting him down one last time, as Ritson's father looked on with incredulity and worry for his son.
He looks okay, as we've been saying.
But a chopping right hand there from Ponce, Ritson digging in, trying to respond, but down he goes again.
In 2004, Erik Morales was one of the best fighters in the world and reigning champion in the super featherweight division after beating Paulie Ayala. He was making his title defense against Eddie Croft, who was completely unranked and had lost many of his previous fights. So it was no surprise when Morales was putting on a beating and put down Croft in the second round. He beat the count, but Morales came in to try and finish, landing with great accuracy. And that's when Croft's corner decided to throw in the towel to protect their fighter. But the referee just grabbed the towel and threw it out, after Morales backed off thinking that the fight was going to be stopped. I guess the referee kept the fight going since Croft protested at the towel being thrown in, saying that he wanted to continue. But he was getting beat easily, and maybe the ref should have stopped it. The fight of course ended the very next round after Morales was able to put down Croft 3 more times. I think that this ref is a complete idiot and should have stopped it way before this. The only reason he stopped it, it seems, is because I think the doctor told him to stop it, or someone from the outside of the ring was yelling for him to stop it. The first fight between Joe Louis and Max Schmeling ended with a victory by Max Schmeling with a knockout in the 12th round. They finally had the rematch 2 years later in 1938, and Joe Louis came in hell-bent on destruction, and finally being able to call himself the champion, since he failed to acknowledge his heavyweight titles he had already won until he could beat Schmeling. With all the propaganda during this time, Louis knew that he had to win, and he did it in the very first round.
Back to the rope, and Louis hooks the left to Max's head quickly, and shoots over a hard right to Max's head. Lewis, a left to Max.
He stated that he would put all his energy into the first 3 rounds, but expected to win in just 1. The referee was forced to stop the fight when Schmeling was left crying in pain after a barrage of left hooks.
Again, a right to the body, a left hook, a right to the head, a left to the head, a right. Schmeling is going down. Body held.
After quickly resuming for action, Lewis went back to work, putting Schmeling down this time.
Schmeling is down.
Max was able to get up fast, but he quickly went down again, but again got up fast at the count of 2.
And he's up, and Lewis, right and left to the head, a left to the jaw.
Lewis, though, knew he had the beast hurt, so he went all out and forced the corner to throw in the towel after he had put down Schmeling for the 3rd time. But the towel doesn't actually stop the fight, and the ref grabbed it and threw it out and kept counting. By the time the corner decided to force the stoppage by getting into the ring, the ref had stopped the fight at the count of 8. In one of the bravest moments in boxing that I have ever seen, and also one of the stupidest ones, was the fight between Miguel Cotto and Yuri Foreman in 2010. They were fighting for Foreman's light middleweight belt, but unfortunately for the champion, he blew out his knee in the 7th round.
Foreman apparently trips over a photographer.
Foreman is a boxer and not a power puncher, thus he uses his legs to move around, avoiding hits and then jumping in to land his own shots. But without his legs, he's not much. It was obvious to everyone that he could not move, or even plant his leg, and maybe his trainer should have pulled him out. But no. Eventually someone from his corner took it upon themselves and threw in the towel in the 8th round.
He's doing before. And the towel comes in from Yuri Foreman's corner.
The referee that night was Arthur Mercante. He completely disallowed the towel, even having to kick everybody out of the ring since they all thought the fight was over. But at the end of the day, it's up to the ref to stop the fight.
Like that. Everybody out. What a take-charge job by Arthur Mercante.
It should have been a disqualification since Foreman's trainer walked into the ring, but he said he didn't want to see the champ lose this way, so he made the fight start again. It only lasted a couple more seconds into the 9th before a body shot ended it all.
Left hook to the body there. Cotto comes back with the left hook to the body and cracks it.
The worst part here is that the referee is supposed to protect fighters, but Mercante was telling Foreman to walk it off and suck it up, which of course makes Foreman want to continue even more since he doesn't want to look weak. A fighter already doesn't want to quit, but then you have somebody telling him not to be a coward. He is obviously going to continue. This one is a little bit crazy, as in 2019 during the German MMA Championship for the featherweight title, Omar Solmes was able to get top control over Felix Scherfurth in the 4th round and was able to take his back, landing some brutal shots, at which point Felix's corner threw in the towel.
Als ob Solmes da auf dem besten Weg dazu ist. Und da fliegt das Handtuch.
So obviously here, the referee didn't refuse to acknowledge the towel. He just absolutely missed the towel when it was thrown in. And since he missed it, he let the fight continue, although he could have stopped the fight himself because Felix was barely covering up at all and was basically giving up. This led to his team jumping into the octagon. It all happened so fast, but the referee was just stepping in to stop the fight when the corner got in there to pull the guys apart. Then the team from the winner Omar jumped in, and there was a shoving match that luckily didn't lead to anything, as they just pulled each other apart. It kind of looked like it was going to turn into a brawl, but luckily it just evolved into a mosh pit victory celebration for Omar Solmes. Back in 2007, Michael Katsidis was undefeated with a record of 21-0 with 19 knockouts and was coming into a fight against Graham Earl for the vacant WBO interim lightweight title. The fight started with an aggressive Katsidis trying to end the fight early, getting 2 knockdowns in the 1st round.
And Katsidis looking to open up, he's put him down in the opening round. Allowed to do so, he may be one big punctuating defeat, he's down again.
In the 2nd round, Katsidis once again put Earl down, and with Earl reeling, he somehow beat the count.
John Katsidis is world class. He's not putting everything into every punch, he's trying to pick it up.
Good right hand, terrific right hand, and that must be the end of it.
but his corner was thinking that he had received enough of a beating and maybe it was time to pull him out, especially after getting another crushing right hand that almost sent him down again. So they threw in the towel.
Into his ear, and now the big punches resume once more. The towel's come in. Johnny Eames has thrown in the towel, and Mickey Bell.
Incredibly, the referee just grabbed the towel and sent it flying back out, as under the rules in Britain, there is no provision for the corner to stop the fight in the middle of the round. Although the referee could have stopped it if he chose to listen to the corner. Right after tossing the towel out, Earl landed something big.
In the British ring. Right hand from Earl. What about that?
That shot completely took away Katsidis' legs, although he never seemed to touch the canvas. The referee gave him a standing 8 count, but unfortunately for Earl, Katsidis recovered extremely fast and came back to take control of the round by the end of it, although they were both trading with reckless abandon. Katsidis was just too strong and kept coming forward, landing big shots and even cutting Earl over his eye. They were standing toe-to-toe going at it, but Earl was getting the worst of it, so his corner called off the fight before the 6th round even started. Let me know guys if you think that towel being thrown in should automatically stop the fight, or should the final decision be left to the referee. I'm a little undecided and could be swung in either direction. Thanks for watching this video. See you next time.